Yeah, I might be fucking retarded. What's going on, guys? Sunny's Gemini here, bringing you a new fucking video, and this time, as you can tell, I'm bringing you another vlog, and this time it's actually going to be some more fucked up story time, which is actually what I'm officially naming the story time series that I'm creating. Just when I come to you guys and tell you about a story of something that happened in my life at some time or another, and because most of them that I'm going to tell you are going to be times where I did something stupid, or somebody I know did something stupid, or something along those lines, so it's a really fucked up story, but it's entertaining for you guys to watch. So I'm bringing you another fucked up story time video, and this time I'm actually going to tell you about the time that I burned my left hand so bad doing something completely retarded that I think it actually, what the hospital told me, if I remember right, it was like a 3rd-degree burn, and I had blisters across my entire hand, and I couldn't use my hand for like a week or two. Like, I couldn't pick anything up, I couldn't do anything, I couldn't even really like flex my hand or anything. It was so bad. So this happened back, I don't even know how old I was. I would have been like 6, 7. Like, I was still a fucking child. And I lived in a place called Sugar Grove, which is, if you're not aware, I live in Arkansas, which is basically redneck country, if you're not aware. I'm sure most of you are. And where I lived was a redneck full, like, there was nothing but rednecks there. So everything we did was like a redneck lifestyle, you know, bonfires every weekend, all the people out there getting smashed drunk for fun. We had pool tables, we had people partying on rooftops, we had the big trucks with the fucking pipes on them, they had all that shit. Well, back during that time, like I said, we had bonfires every weekend. Well, because I was still a kid, I wasn't allowed to leave the house during the weekends. I was allowed to participate in the bonfires and then go up to where we had the pool table up in a house that was right next to my own. One weekend we had this bonfire, and that was how we got rid of our trash every weekend, is we would take our bags and we would throw them on the fire, and that's how we made our fire. Well, we were setting up all our stuff, and we had it lit, and it was burning. You know, we were all sitting there partying. The older kids were drinking alcohol, of course, when they're not supposed to be. You know, we all did illegal shit at that point in time. They were all drinking. I was just sitting there, you know, playing DJ, basically, is what I did. I played all the music, and I let it happen. And they, for some reason, started throwing glass bottles into the fire. Well, they started missing where our fire was. Like, take a picture in the sky like this, and it was like a huge area, and then in the middle was our fire pit. They were throwing bottles that were going past the fire pit, and we had like a little hill that went down into like a little drop area, and it was full of grass, and they were moving a fire slowly, like closer to the grass. So, of course, me being the at that point, I was scared of nothing. I didn't give a fuck about anything. I just went out there with my shoes, my boots, I think is what I was wearing at the time, and I just kind of moved the fire with my shoe back to where it was so that it wasn't going to catch fire. And my dumbass missed a glass bottle, a glass Bud Light bottle, I think is what it was. I missed the bottle, and like, without even thinking, unknowingly, I reached down and I picked up this bottle. Of course, the bottle had already been in the fire for several minutes, even though it hadn't busted yet. It was a full bottle. So I pick up this bottle, and of course it's hot, so I start screaming bloody murder because the thing's burning my fucking hand. Now here's where things get a little bit fishy, because my memory from that point, from what I've been told actually happened, is a little bit different. So from what I remember is I picked up the bottle, I was holding it, I was screaming, it hurt. And then, you know, because whenever something first happens and it hurts you bad enough, you go into a state of shock. You realize it hurts, but you don't know what to do. You don't know how to respond. So I just stood there and I held the bottle while I screamed because it hurt. And then my sister was screaming, "Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it." And in my memory, she claims that, or in my memory, I threw the bottle out of my hand and it flew up and smashed behind me. Now, I talked to my sister about it several times since that point, because for some reason we like to reminisce when she comes up. She claims that I held onto the bottle and she had to come slap it out of my hand because I wouldn't let go. I don't remember this detail, but that's what she says happened. So that's where our like memory of what happened differs, because I swear to God I threw the bottle after I heard her say drop it. So I drop the bottle, or she slaps it out of my hand one way or another, whatever. I don't have the bottle in my hand anymore. My hand is bright red, it's stinging, it's already starting to blister, and I had the bottle in my hand for like 30 seconds. So my sister freaks out. She runs in the house. She grabs a fucking big ass like Kool-Aid container full of fucking like cold water, and she shoves my hand in there, which of course causes it to hurt even worse, because when a hot surface gets suddenly put into something cold, it just instantly fucks your whatever that is up. So she does that, and I start screaming, and I pull my hand out. Well, she forces me to hold my hand in there after a little while, and my mom was not home at the time. My mom was over at, because we lived in a very small, like, quote-unquote valley. It was literally, you could scream from one side from like where we lived all the way down, and everybody would hear you. So she was down the ways at her friend's house, partying, having fun. So my sister has to run down to the house that my mom was at, tell her that I was an idiot and burn my hand. My mom, having been drunk at this time, had to sober up enough, or she had sobered up enough so that it was safe to like drive, but she still had alcohol in her system. I'm not going to say that the decisions we made at that point were smart. I'm not going to try to defend them, because clearly we were letting minors drink in our fucking house. So my mom rushes back, and she, loads everybody in the vehicle, and she drives up there. And my mom had to try to explain to the doctors what exactly happened while I have not been there and being drunk. And then tried to make it, seem not as bad as it was, so that I wouldn't get taken from Child Protective Services. So we ended up they gave me some, I think, ointment or some shit, and it didn't work. And we had to go to a friend's house for a little while. I don't remember what the reason was. And eventually my mother, in order to get me to stop screaming because it still hurt, she gave me muscle relaxers and a cold Mountain Dew can to calm my hand down and then put me to sleep. And when I woke up, it just blistered over and hurt like a bitch for like a week or two after. So clearly I'm the smartest person to ever bless planet Earth. And you should follow my example completely, because I fucked up my leg by jumping onto a shallow pool step. I burned my hand on a glass bottle by picking it up almost immediately out of a fire. Let's see, what else did I got suspended for half a day for fighting when I did not, and a whole plethora of other things that I'm sure you guys will hear about in the future. So clearly I am the best role model you will ever see, and you should follow everything I do to a T. And I mean, that's all I got for you guys this time. It wasn't a very detailed thing because, like I said, I was really young, so I don't remember all the exact details, but for the most part, that sums it up in the best that I can give it to you. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel for new, and keep fucking watching, guys. Be sure to check out the main channel, because there are new videos up there, and there will be another one going up today, if not two, depending on if I decide to upload two. So be sure to check those out for sure, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.